Hello, and welcome to what hopefully will be the last winter edition of the Medway update. Peter Dixon, I think in one of his recent videos, mentioned that the weather had improved down in South London and he was in the old man's shed and the weather was nice. We're a little bit further the other way into Kent, and it's the same here. So it's lovely to have the lighter evenings. Temperatures have risen. I've been managed to get into the shed, into the garage, and spend more than I was before, just a few minutes. Um, the layout seems to have uh, survived the winter. There are a couple of areas where I think the track may have moved, so I might just have to get the levels done. And the gaps have expanded, or a couple of gaps have expanded, so hopefully they'll contract a little bit when the weather gets better. But yeah, looking positive. This video, we'll just see where I've done some work on the JS Models engine shed, and we'll look to see how that fits in with the industrial area. I've done a bit more on the station, so there's a little video to see there on what has happened. I visited two local shows, the Erith show and the Tonbridge show, and we'll have a look at see what I picked up there. And by the way, there's not any video footage of the shows, but Dusty Shelf Collectibles has done a very good one on Tonbridge, and there's a couple of people who've done the Erith as well. I'm not sure if Dusty Shelf has done that, but if you want to see some good videos, just have a little search. And then also, what I've been doing is just putting in some TXS decoders into a couple of new models, so a couple of existing models, I should say. So we'll see those going around. And then lastly, there'll be some running shots. And I've been playing around with iMovie and have been doing sort of a little mini movies. So we'll see those. Anybody who might catch me on Facebook or Instagram may have already seen them, but it's just something hopefully a little bit different, and I'll see what you think. So there we are, folks. Hopefully we've turned a corner on the weather, and then we'll go and see what's been happening. Right then, next up on the kit building adventure is the JS Models engine shed with a water tank. As usual, we've got nice comprehensive instructions. So there we go. I've got me cup of tea and me glue. We're ready to go. Here's the engine shed in position. Now we've only just got the first layer down of paint, but it will be weathered, so I just wanted to get some colour in. The tank is probably going to have a little rusty feel to it. There'll be some weathering of the roof, some sort of smoky weathering around by the stacks. There's the door and the entrance in. So there we are. That's the engine shed, and it's just there really to give an idea of space and what can be fitted in. And then probably in the summer where I can be outside doing it, we'll get some weathering and lighting in. Okay, the industrial area. Okay, let's have a look at the industrial site. We've now got the engine shed in place, the warehouse and the pump room. I was thinking of putting if I mentioned before, the JS model shed that's done for BRM magazine, but looking at it, I think I prefer the display of cars. We do need to get a new building for the entrance, but that's how we'll live at the moment. Excuse the mess along here, but here will be more vehicle displays. We have Thomas Aveling. He really needs to go there, and an Aveling and Porter steamroller. So if we pan along, a little bit of work on the station side. We've just got the fencing completed along here, and if we move along, we've just got it completed here, and this is West Hill Wagon Works fencing. And if I just pan over to this end, there will be, I've got some Rusty Rails gates that I'll put alongside there. These here are gates, and I have got a couple of end of platform stairwells. So there we go. Just a little update here. Right, I've just returned back from the Erith Model Railway Society's exhibition held at the Harris Garrard Academy, Belvedere, Thamesmead Way, so not too far away. Now, luckily enough, Chris from the club very kindly volunteered to drive myself and Josh there. So thank you, Chris. It was much appreciated. Yeah, it's saved us a hell of a lot of time. So yeah, thumbs up to Chris. So here we are. It's the Erith Model Railway Club's exhibition. Now, it used to be at Longfield, and it moved, I think, a couple of years ago to Thamesmead. But it's the first time I've been to the new venue. Plenty of parking in the school grounds, and nicely laid out. So plenty of stalls and layouts there. But although it was busy, which is brilliant, you could get around, so no problem at all. So you probably will know what I bought. So first of all, Bunter's Yard, Dave and the team had quite an impressive stand there. And I was looking to replace the Metcalfe tea rooms with, again, something more substantial. And I noticed that Dave's brought out a couple of pubs. So I managed to look at those close up. They're 3D printed. And I then chose the Red Lion pub, as it has some boarding on it, which is quite Kentish-like. Lots of detail. It's got a nice open bottom, so okay for lighting, and I'll probably put a floor in and look as detailed as much as I can. I've got plenty of plastic clear sheet that I can use for glazing, and as you see, it's nicely detailed, so I'll enjoy building that. So that was the Red Lion pub from Bunter's Yard. Now, some of you will remember from the last couple of videos, I managed to pick up a King class, King Charles II GWR loco, although it's in BR livery, but I wanted something to run alongside it. And those who saw some running shots of it will have seen I had some Great Western coaches that Lee Wall very kindly gave to me, but they did have they were the old Lima, and they did have the big chunky coupling, so I was looking for something to replace them, And so I spotted the Hornby Railroad for coaches for £16. Now this is the composite coach. There we go. And the good thing about it, we'll get them out and they'll be running, and I'll do a video on that. But they've got the smaller couplings, so pleased with that. So I've got the composite coach, and also the brake second class coach. And there we are. So pleased with those. So that was at £16, which they're in mint condition, and I thought that that was really good value. And then I went over to Sudbury Models. Have I got? Yeah. Sudbury Models. Went over to their stall. And they had some really good bargains. And I managed to pick up a Bachmann Collet 3rd Choc Cream Western Region. Oops. So pleased with that. It's one of the older style Bachmanns, and so it's got it hasn't got an M pocket coupling, but it's a smaller couplings. I think it might have plastic wheels, but if it does, it's not an issue. I might replace them, but if they run okay, that's fine. And for that was £15. It was originally up for 16, but the chap very kindly dropped £1 off, and that's always appreciated. So that's 3 that will replace, and I'll just keep a lookout for a couple more. So no disrespect to the ones Lee gave me, but I just wanted to update him, which I think is what he did. Then of course it wouldn't be visiting a show without seeing good pals at Southern Scale Models, where there's always a good bargain. I've got a couple of OTA wagons that I wanted to just put into a SpeedLink service, and lo and behold, there was one. There we go, Hornby OTA in absolutely mint condition. I think this must be new. So that will then bring me up to 3, which would just be nice, stuck in the middle of a SpeedLink SpeedLink train, and I've got just the right twigs that I can use. It does look very realistic for wood. So there we are. It was a terrific show. Some lovely layouts there. So if you're in the southeast, look out next year. I'm not sure if they've got the date, but it's the Erith Model Railway Society. So there we are. An excellent day out. The Tonbridge show is another local show, and again I was indebted to Chris from our club who provided the transport. It's always nice to be able to attend local shows, and although it's not quantity of stands and layouts, the quality was excellent. And again, Dusty Shelf Collectibles YouTube done a very good video on it. But what did I get? Well, I wasn't having the intention of of buying too much, but I did pop over to see Caravat Coastal DCC, and I picked up some of the excellent AE models, small stay alives that you can fit in the tightest of spaces, but still get around about 9 seconds of power. And while I was there, I did speak to him because I was looking for a separate fascia for my NC power cab, so as I could have a separate sort of testing track. I've got a little scale model scenery, small baseboard, but I was going to put a bit of track and use it for running in. And I wanted to then be able to program the DCC decoders as well, rather than having to do it in the garage. And when I was chatting to him, he did mention the module that had the NCE Power Cab power connector in, and also the Wi-Fi tracks Wi-Fi connector, so you could connect that up, and you can operate your trains through. I've got Apple, so I had to go for Y throttle, and you can also program through that. So I picked one of those up too, and also I think it was from the Tonbridge Railway Club store, an excellent, almost mint condition Virgin coach for a tenner. So yeah, I'm a fan of the Fragonset black livery, and I managed to pick up a Class 73 47, which you may have seen in a previous video, 33, and now to finish the set, I was delighted when the Curascal announced that they were going to release their Class 31 in the Fragonset livery. So I immediately put a pre-order, and that arrived a short while ago. So straight out the box it runs nicely. And so should we go and have a look and see it running? Okay, so this is the Class 92 with the HM7000 decoder. I have actually put a Class 91 sound file in, as Hornby at the moment don't do a 92. But let's have a listen. We've got multiple horns too. We've got doors open, close. I think you might be able to hear them. We got doors closed, guard's whistle. Now there isn't one on there, so I apologise for that. Air release valve, if we can hear it. And what else have we got? Maybe windscreen wipers. Compressor. and coupling. And I'm not sure what carriage passing is or if it works. Okay. There we go. So there are the sounds. Let's see if we can get it off. There we go, and I'm quite pleased how that's come out. So there we are. That's the end of the winter update. Looking forward to being able to get into the garage quite more often. I'd look to sort of get it in after work, and even if it's just to get some trains running. So there we are. As always, it goes without saying, wish you all well, keep safe, and of course, happy modelling.